Chattle!
Yaddle Chattle.
Woo! It's a Star Wars podcast, and I know Jedi Jared was being quiet intentionally. That was a little joke. You were just doing that because a couple people said you were in the quiet zone again last week. You're going to talk nice and loud this week.
Yes, I am going to talk nice and loud this week.
Oh, look at that. If you talk like that, how you just talked, Yaddle heads are going to celebrate Jedi Jared all over the galaxy. Of course, sitting to my left, your right, the great Jedi Jared, the purveyor of the light side of the Force. Look at him. Did you shave your head?
Yes.
But take it off again. I didn't even notice. Now, how is that different from what you used to have? Did you have your head shaved before?
Yeah.
So what? So this is nothing new.
No, nothing new. I just got my hair did.
He just got his hair did. I mean, you're going for the full-on Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah.
We're going fucking right blade to the bone, baby.
Oh, I don't get like a straight razor blade.
Looks like it.
No, they use an electric one. Like what? Like the
electric?
One from, like, yeah, because I have very sensitive skin.
Me too. By the way, do you do Dove sensitive skin soap?
No,
it's a good brand, Jared.
I like Everyman Jack.
Okay, Everyman Jack.
Yes.
I mean, with all due respect, that sounds like a civilian who's masturbating in the alley. Okay, I don't need to fucking hear about a goddamn Everyman Jack. Okay, I don't need to hear fucking average Joe wanking it. Okay, it's disgusting, Everyman Jack. We don't need that here. Not on Yaddle Chattle. We don't. Of course, I am Darth David. He is Jedi Jared, as we just said. And today's Yaddle Chattle, we are fired up because we just saw Ahsoka, Part 5. And I think we should get into that, and then we'll do some news. And I know you have to get back to little Leia.
Yes.
Jared has a beautiful little daughter. I have two children, by the way, so I don't know why he gets all the fucking props. I don't know why it's always him.
Because
I got two.
You've got teenagers now.
I know. Isn't it wild, baby? How old are you?
I am 36 years old.
36.
Yes.
I'm 45. 9 years older than you. See, I didn't put that together.
Well, no, you're about 10. Because I just turned 36 and you'll be 30.
Look at the quibbler. You're 36. No, first of all, you're leaning to the left. That's the key. Yes, your mouth always needs to be going. See, your breath, as long as your breath goes in the direction of the microphone, we'll be fine. Now, but you're quibbling even though you literally just said you're 36 and I said I'm 45.
Yeah.
So that makes us 9 years apart.
Yeah, but
you're
Dave,
quibbling.
I'm not quibbling because you're going to be 46 in 6 weeks, correct?
November 1st. Thank you for reminding Yaddle heads, I suppose. I wasn't going to do it. You want to get me a gift or something? By all means.
Was it Amazon.com/Eastside?
I don't think I even have that thing anymore. I got a lightsaber, so don't worry about that. Look at this bad boy.
So you don't want to break out the wish list again?
I got this motherfucker, but I don't have a blaster. You know, if I'm going to travel the galaxy, or maybe a droid of some kind, I could use a little helper, a little company around the house.
What? I thought that's Bobo's job.
But what I'm going to say is,
all right.
Here's what you can do. If you want to celebrate Yaddle, my birthday, Darth David of Yaddle Chattle's birthday, here's what you can do. Start spreading the word of Yaddle Chattle and just how phenomenal the East Side Empire is. This past year, I don't think I've ever been more prolific in my life. That's the straight up truth. Between the Davey Mac Sports Program resurgence, as we're once again reclaiming the #1 spot as the best independent sports podcast in the world. That's us. That belongs to us. And we're reclaiming it. Yaddle Chattle, the fastest rising R-rated Star Wars podcast hosted by two Quentin Tarantino fans, in which we've reached all the way up to 1,028 on that ranking. Okay, the Eastside Dave and Son Wrestling Show, which has been goddamn nationally syndicated by Beasley Media. #1, I just got told, for the 9th book in a row, 9th rating book at WRAT 95.9 FM, 33rd consecutive ratings book. I'm number one at the Jersey Shore with a potential listenership of 1.8 million people. That's 9 straight years. That's where I got the number 9 from. 33 books in a row, Jared. 9 years. Number one at the Jersey Shore on FM radio.
Ichiban.
But what we need is the Eastside Empire to be shared. Go to your Reddits. Go to your Facebook groups. Go to your Twitter groups, wherever the fuck you go to talk to people and share Yaddle Chattle. It is a great show. We're proud of it. But now we just want people to turn up the juice in terms of sharing. We are proud of it. You son of a bitch, you. Now, what did you bring me today for dinner?
Salsa chicken.
This is becoming the new thing here. And it's a weekly segment I, for one, am into. Because I get fed. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Look at that. Oh, shit.
David, you're going to break the
I
laptop.
literally just spilled some of the... You take over. I got to clean up.
David just spilled some salsa. It's a pretty easy recipe. If you got a slow cooker, I love using a slow cooker.
This is going to be very tricky. I'm going to have to clean this and hope that it doesn't...
You don't screw up and corrupt the audio and then...
Yeah, there's a good chance that's going to happen. Well, folks, if you don't get this episode of Yaddle Chattle, that one's on me, not the fucking computer. Because I spilled goddamn salsa chicken all over the keyboard.
So it's a very easy recipe if you have a slow cooker. You throw some chicken breasts in the slow cooker. I added a little adobo to it.
This, like I said, we curse here, but we don't go overly sexual on Yaddle. Breast, chicken bosom, please. I don't want to think about breasts, please.
Okay.
Chicken bosom, thank you. Go ahead.
Chicken bosom. Mm-hmm. You let it cook. You can take 2 forks and shred it out. Then add some salsa. And I usually cook low. 3-4 hours. Add the salsa, let it cook for another hour and simmer with the salsa.
Getting it done, Jared.
And then you got salsa chicken, easy peasy.
That's getting it done, Jared. Now, what kind of side dish do you recommend with the salsa chicken? Don't forget, I always, you need to have a few things. String beans?
Well, no, I figured for you.
Mashed potatoes?
It would be perfect on your nachos. Because it's basically you can make chicken nachos with it.
So you're saying I go to my white trash meal that I make and that I've been making, and quite frankly, it always get raves reviews, which is Cool Ranch Doritos spread out on a plate with Kraft American Singles. Put on top of the Doritos like a blanket in the microwave for 2 minutes. Everyone mocks me. What a shitty fucking thing you've done. And I'm like, taste it now, asshole, because this tastes great.
So here's how you could elevate it just a little bit.
Okay, talk to me.
You take your Cool Ranch and maybe go over to the Walgreens or the CV, or you can probably get it at ShopRite right here or at Target. You get some shredded Mexican cheese. It's like $1.99 for an 8-ounce
Shredded
bag.
like this?
Yes.
Shredded like this fucking thing?
Yes.
You see what I look like for IWF when I do my goddamn wrestling in fucking November? I swear to God, I don't give a fuck what goddamn legend they match me up with in November. It could be Mr. USA Tony Atlas. It could be Tito Santana. It could be Gilbert. None of you fuckers want a piece of this. I'm just going to be honest. So I'm ready for our fucking IWF event in November in North Jersey. Tickets, campiwf.com. Sorry to get tangential. Go.
Get yourself some sour cream.
Oh, you know how much I love sour cream?
Exactly.
And you told me something shocking.
What?
One day, right here on Yaddle Chattle.
Still
now
true.
Go to your right.
It's still
there
true.
There you go.
It's still true, whatever I said.
That sour cream is not bad for you. Because I always thought sour cream is probably like the worst. But I swear to God, sour cream is one of my favorite sour cream has taken the spot.
From ketchup?
Of almost #1 condiment for me.
Over ketchup?
Listen, you can dip a chip in sour cream. You can dip a steak in sour cream. You can dip a potato in sour cream. Shit, almost anything. You can just dip it in sour cream. I'm telling you. I'm off the ketchup. Unless I fucking have a hamburger, I don't need a ketchup ever. Ever. Ever.
Okay.
Did you know that I know someone who likes to make macaroni and cheese with, excuse me, it's not macaroni and cheese, macaroni and ketchup? They boil the fucking pasta, put it in the colander, put that in the bowl, and put ketchup, and fucking do it instead of the milk and the cheese.
I've heard of people using
fucking disgusting, man. Ugh. Who the fuck? Why would you do that?
What?
They provide the cheese in the macaroni and cheese box. Why would you just?
So they take a Kraft box. And they heat up they make the pasta. Then instead of using
boil the pasta, put it in the colander. Instead of using the cheese packet, they just put they pour it from the colander. They put the pasta back in the bowl. Pour ketchup in the bowl and stir.
I try not to judge people, but yeah, I'm heavily judging that person.
I mean, what the hell? All right, let's get into some Star Wars talk. I don't know where our fucking heads at because I mean we got a lot of shit here.
Well, I mean you could elevate your nachos with my chicken.
That's what. Okay, yeah.
Some sour cream and cheese and.
All right, I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about that little dish that you have advised right there. That's not a terrible idea. And that could go with a couple of IPAs, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 IPAs.
Just don't go texting.
No, yeah. Hey, we got an email.
Oh, you got
the last time I had
That wasn't sent to me.
No, I know because this is an email that I personally sent, so it was simply a reply. I personally sent an email to Rebel Force Radio.
Okay.
#1 Star Wars podcast in the world. I mean, everyone recognized that. Even Yaddle Chattle, a Star Wars podcast. But like I said, we like to identify ourselves as the #1 fastest rising R-rated Star Wars podcast hosted by 2 Quentin Tarantino fans. For that category, we are ascending rather rapidly. Like I said, 1,028 was our last ranking.
Okay.
So I said, dear Jason, Jimmy, you guys are always killing it. Killing it! I thanked him for giving the
shout out
heads up of the Patterson cut.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how I learned it.
I actually told someone to watch that on Facebook. I said, you should see the Patterson cut.
And what'd they say?
They didn't reply.
Some story. I said to them, always a fan, and enjoy it. Jimmy Mack got back to me. Said, always happy when you reach out. And they said, we think you guys are kicking ass yourself, sir. Listen to this. We loved your latest Star Wars song. Swank must have listened to it 100 times. So he's referring to the redheaded guy who wrote the song with the guitar in the woods.
Oliver Anthony.
I actually already forgot his name. I think he's going to be that quick of a flash in the pan that I forgot. But obviously, I have red hair, and I had a green shirt. In fact, it was this green shirt. And the color of the green shirt that he was wearing looked like this one that I'm wearing on this episode of Yaddle Chattle. So I just put my fucking Star Wars shirt on, went to the woods, and did, I believe the name of it was Rich Men North of Tatooine. And I just named a whole bunch of rich and powerful people. Like Palpatine, like Bail Organa, so on and so forth. You can see that on Eastside Dave TV on the YouTube channel there. So what do you think about that? And then he says, looking forward to the day we can finally hang out and have a few beers together. And then he says, P.S. You tell Jedi Jared, keep our names out of his goddamn mouth. Otherwise, I got a fucking knuckle sandwich for him. And the bread that I'm using is fuck your ass. Rye. Sincerely, Jimmy Mack.
Now, I don't know. I'm going to press X to doubt that he actually said any.
Okay, well, that last entire entry was all me.
Okay.
But I just wanted to mix it up a little bit, get some controversy going.
Got it. You want to pick a fight with friends.
I don't want to pick a fight. I love them. I want them to hate you. That would be great. And then the controversy could just be them like, can you believe that Jedi Jared guy? How is he the Jedi of the show? He's a fucking dick. I'd be like, oh, this is great. I'd sit back and enjoy.
Okay.
So that's we actually I always love those guys. I actually have interviewed and talked to Jimmy and Jason for about 10 years. I think Jimmy Mack's first appearance was on The Watchers or the Davey Mack Sports Program in like 2012 or something. And then I've talked to Jimmy and Jason together Talk to him separately. Always great. And yeah, that's one thing that's weird. They haven't had a Star Wars celebration in New York in a long time, dude.
When was the last time they had one?
I mean, I think you might have to be going back to the 2000s. Those guys would know. The RFR guys would know. I haven't gone to every Star Wars celebration, but I have been watching the last several Star Wars celebrations on YouTube. Since they've been doing the live streams on YouTube, I've been watching them, and I really love that. I get into the YouTube live stream. It's actually a very cozy, almost Christmassy feeling. I really enjoy the entire experience. No, I mean, I get home from work from my #1 hit morning radio show. I put it on the YouTube stream, and it just stays on my TV for 12 hours. It's nice. It's comforting. It's comforting.
Okay.
But what's the deal? No goddamn Star Wars celebration in New York. What do you think the reason for that is?
I don't know. I kind of feel like it should be one of those things like Lollapalooza. Remember Lollapalooza used to be a tour?
Yeah.
And then at one point, Perry Farrell, or I guess whoever owns Lollapalooza now, was like, fuck it. We're going to do it every year in Chicago,
yeah.
in Grant Park.
Yeah.
And that'll be where Lollapalooza is.
Right.
And, you know, they do Burning Man out in the desert and Coachella's out in Death Valley. I feel like they should probably start doing... Pick a location, maybe like, fuck it, I'll say it, like Cleveland.
Chicago.
I was going to say Cleveland.
Well, I mean, come on. If you want to do the biggest city in the middle of America, do Chicago.
Yeah, you would do Chicago.
You just brought it up, and there it is. And I get it. So it's right in the middle of the country. That's your reasoning?
Well, no, I was gonna say pick a place that could use it economically, like a city that maybe... Like New York's...
George Lucas wanted to fucking bail out the city of Chicago personally by building a goddamn $1 billion state-of-the-art museum and school. And the fucking parking lot committee, the all-powerful Chicago parking lot committee said in order to do this, George would have to be demolishing 4 or 5 parking lots. And so they said no. His fucking designs were like Star Wars storyboards, like you thought you were looking at Alderaan. He was going to build a brand new park, a school, and a museum that I guarantee you would have instantly become the Star Wars Mecca. And Chicago blew it. Fucking blew it. So I don't know if Star Wars is going to have that much love.
I can't see Disney spending.
So then why not
now.
just do Disney? Do Disney. Just do Disney World. And this way people can plan their trip with a Disney World vacation. Just do Disney World every year. And this way you want to see a Star Wars celebration. You don't have to go to everyone, but maybe sometimes you want to see a Star Wars celebration. Awesome, we'll plan a Disney trip. I like your idea. I just don't like the whole Chicago or fucking Cleveland. I mean, what are you going to do with it? Fucking Bernie Kosar's car dealership? I mean, what are we talking about? Cleveland
No,
here?
but I'm just saying, like, you pick a place.
By the way, Chicago and Cleveland, you chose the 2 places the RFR guys are from, which is kind of funny. Here I am running them down. But you know what I mean. We're from Jersey. Why do we got to go to Cleveland and fucking thing? I mean, how come they can't come to New York?
I'm not going to London for a celebration.
Agreed.
I'm not going to Japan for a
Why
celebration.
can't they come to New York ever? You do know New York is a pretty big city, right?
Yes. Oh, I'd love to see it over at the Expo Center. That's a
Go to the right. Slide to the right. Thank you. Just slide to the right a little bit. There you go.
I'd love to go to the Expo Center there.
Yeah, right.
Where they have the auto show every year, or they could do it at Javits where
Dude,
they go.
fuck that. Go big or go home. Figure out how to do it at Madison Square Garden. Dude, it's not like they don't do exhibitions there. They do expos and shit at the Garden. It's just tough because obviously you have the Knicks and the Rangers to contend with. But if you take away...
They do it in April, right?
Right, but fuck that. Just say no more April. Knicks NBA Finals and Stanley Cup end in June. You could do it late June. Got Madison Square Garden.
It's possible. I just don't understand. Like they could more or less do it everywhere. Where they I thought it used to be just in Anaheim. I thought that was like the thing where they would always have celebration was in California.
I think they were doing that for a long time, or they've done California a lot, but not every time. I just, it would be fun. It would be fun. It would be fun to
when you
hang
went
out
to,
with.
when you went to Celebration, it was out in California. Or
No.
it was in Disney.
Yeah, Disney World.
So it was in either Florida. It's either
Florida, Cali,
or California,
Yeah.
where they already have the infrastructure and they don't have to rent it out.
That's why I think it's the smartest idea to do it to the Disney World in Orlando, and then people can go to the Star Wars Celebration for a couple days, and then if there's panels or this or that they're not 100% into, okay, we're gonna go to the Disney World. We'll do the Star Wars rides. You have a nice, beautiful little Star Wars vacation for yourself.
I think that might be what they might do next year. Or did they announce where they were having it in 2024?
I don't recall.
Or is it every other year?
No, I think they should go. I think they're planning to go back on a yearly basis. No, it was always an annual thing. To answer your question, the COVID has fucked the whole scheduling up with this shit. So we love the RFR guys.
Yes.
Want to well, let's do quick news and then we'll go into Ahsoka.
Because this is slow news. Stop.
No,
I mean,
not a big
look. We're in the midst. We're what? 4 months into a writer's strike. We're 2-3 months into an actor's strike, and there doesn't really seem to be a whole lot of resolution coming forward. Except a lot of pleasantries, like, yeah, we'd like to get this resolved as soon as possible. And then you find out that Warner Brothers is losing like $300 to $500 million just this year alone with the strike, and they're saying, oh, that would have covered what the writers and actors were.
I agree. No, I know, but when you turn your head.
Oh, I thought I was projecting enough for that.
No.
Okay.
Your mouth always has to be at the microphone.
At the microphone.
Otherwise, your words go over here.
There's
no microphone on the curtain.
Got it. Okay. So.
We're over 70 episodes in. This is the first time you're learning that, yes, you have to speak directly into the mic rather than tilting your head all over. But I'm happy that you just had this fucking self-revelation, at least now. At some point, well over a year into Yaddle Chattle, you now recognize, yes, this is called a microphone. Most microphones are directional microphones, which means speak into them. This ain't a boom mic. Now, a boom mic hangs over our head. We can fucking turn our heads wherever we want. This is a directional microphone. It's a good one, though. So as long as your head is tilted towards the microphone, you'll be good to go. That's why I say if you want to look at me, make eye contact, go to the movie, go to the screen.
Okay.
I love you. And the only reason why I'm not absolutely blasting you,
is because
salsa chicken.
I brought you salsa chicken.
That's why.
How are the brats?
That goes a long way.
How are the brats?
Excellent. I fucking got so high last week after Yaddle Chattle, heated all three up. Excellent. Oh my God. I was like, I should have saved these for a fucking football game. That's what they reminded me of. I should have saved them for like a Notre Dame game or something. Bad job on my part. Bratwurst, more football food than either Star Wars or baseball food. So that was my mistake.
What is...
Darth David fucked that one up.
Well, you can get brats at a baseball game, right?
You get hot dogs. See, I go a hot dog. A bratwurst is a different, heavier type of sausage. Thus, it makes it more compatible with football. Baseball, hot dog. Football, bratwurst.
Okay. What is a Star Wars food then?
So Star Wars food is something light, like the Cool Ranch Doritos and cheese that we were discussing.
Okay, snack.
Plus, your candies need to be out.
All right, snack food.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Basketball games.
Basketball game, I like a Jersey Mike's.
A sub.
A sub. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't think that you could eat a sub, or I guess now in 2023 if you went to like the Nets.
Oh my God, you got Jersey Mike's everywhere.
Yeah.
The fucking location. By the way, Yaddleheads, if you're watching nationally, Jersey Mike's, the whole chain started like right by our house. Right here. It started right here. How about that? Did you know that Yaddle Chattle is the home of Jersey Mike's subs? They should hire us instead of fucking Danny DeVito.
I mean...
He's actually the perfect pitch man.
He is. I actually thought that he was
They could not have gotten a more perfect guy.
Oh, no,
and
absolutely.
they have a brand new Jersey Mike's commercial where he's wearing a blonde wig and singing. And I'm like, this should be a short film. I literally watch football. and keep my eyes glued during the commercials in hopes to see the new Danny DeVito blonde wig Jersey Mike's commercial. It's that funny to me. I'm like, this is better than any Saturday Night Live sketch in the last 20 years. It's fucking great. So actually, Jersey Mike's, you made the right move with Danny DeVito and not Jared and David. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I originally thought that he was like an investor. That maybe he owned a few franchises and stuff like that because he grew up with the original one. He's from the area. I thought maybe he's like, you know what? I'll open some of my own Jersey Mike's because this is what celebrities do all of this
Well, he
shit.
could own one. It's not going to be hard for Danny DeVito to buy a franchise.
That's what I'm saying. Or that they came to him and was like, hey, do you want to invest in this because you grew up eating the original subs? But no, they just were like, no, we figured Danny DeVito was the perfect pitch man.
Okay, so real quick. X-Wing. An X-Wing model
I
went
saw
for
that.
$400,000.
Yeah. They found someone randomly. Isn't it crazy how it was
I mean, this is the model that was used in the movie.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But isn't it fucking crazy how they're finding all of this, like, priceless movie / history memorabilia?
Oh, it's
just like, oh, in Chewie's attic, he has all this, like, stuff. Oh, yeah, someone buried all these classic Star Wars action figures.
People were gonna throw a lot of shit out. If you're there, you're like, fuck it, I'm taking this. And also, unfortunately, everyone's going broke in the modern day economy, so now everyone's selling all their shit.
Who the hell has $400,000 to buy an X-Wing model?
You know, the same 1% that own everything else. Now, meanwhile, the rest of us can't afford that shit, so as a result, we turn to crime. A New York man, I loved it because I got this from an Ohio website, speaking of Cleveland.
Okay.
And they made a big deal about a New York man stole
New York City. Skyscraper.
It was as if they're trying to make like a synonymous thing as like, you know, being from New York is like Gotham City. It's like this fucking.
Well, it's becoming.
They were equating this guy with the Joker, though. They were like, a New York man steals a TIE fighter for that was worth $2,000 from a convention. That's an interesting call. A TIE fighter. He really needed to have it that badly that he had to steal the fucking TIE fighter from the goddamn convention and got busted. So this goes to the classic argument. X-Wing, TIE fighter. We gave you an X-Wing story, we gave you the TIE fighter story. Here it is. Jared has to save his life. Jared has to escape. Jared has to get into a dogfight battle in the space. Who is he going with?
X-Wing.
And why?
They've got more shielding and they've got they've got hyperspace drives.
Okay, but what if some of those TIE fighters, some of those upgraded TIE fighters, I think got. We saw that the TIE fighters got to go into hyperspace in Rise of Skywalker when they were chasing the Falcon. And what?
That's like,
he was speed skipping.
Okay. I was going with like a classic TIE fighter.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
Not a New Order one.
Okay. No. This is any version of an X-Wing, any version of a TIE fighter. I'm going to shock you here. I'm going TIE fighter. I love the maneuverability of a TIE fighter. I believe there would be no way, none, for Darth David to ever get destroyed in battle. Because you can move those things. They can go anywhere the fuck you want, any direction like that. An X-Wing, there's still a little lag time. They're still kind of bulky. It's like driving a big Oldsmobile. You gotta really fucking turn that shit. You really turn around.
Well,
TIE fighter, zip, 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 bing, bang, boom.
I've got a shit ton of experience doing that because my first car was a Monte Carlo. I drove a fucking boat.
If you had to make a top 5 of Star Wars vehicles, where would these two rank?
Well, obviously.
Would they even be in the top 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me your top 5 real quick right now.
Vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ships.
5 would probably be those, the Naboo starfighters.
Whoa. All right. Well,
I like the
Din
design.
Djarin. Yeah, you're right. The design's cool. And now that Din Djarin's using it in Mando, I get it.
His new one's pretty fucking.
He brought it back. All right. Next.
I like Ahsoka's.
Ahsoka's ship is awesome.
It's pretty fucking
I love Ahsoka's
Fulcrum.
I love Ahsoka's ship.
I think that
Looks great.
Like, the turn thing's pretty.
The
fucking
rotating
cool.
wing, and I love when it's vertical more than when it's horizontal. But I don't give a damn. I love Ahsoka's ship. Next,
a TIE interceptor.
okay, so you can do your tie with that one. Fair enough. Next,
an X-wing.
number 2, X-wing. Number 1,
Millennium Falcon.
okay. I like it. I like the Falcon at number 1. I mean, you got your head up your ass with a lot of this shit. Star Destroyer would be number 2. A TIE fighter is more iconic than an X-wing.
Really?
Hot take. But when you see a lot of Star Wars and when you hear a lot of Star Wars referenced in pop culture, I'm talking Star Wars referenced in pop culture. You get a lot more TIE fighters in your commercials, your Simpsons parodies, your Family Guy parodies, so on and so forth. I think TIE fighters are more iconic. So that's number 3. Number 4 is your X-wing. Number 5, fuck you son of a bitch, Boba Fett's ship. Come on. Now, I was with you with Ahsoka. I don't think I can put a starfighter over Boba. And Ahsoka's ship would come in at number 5 for me. At number 5. It would go Boba. It would go X-wing. Number something else. Star Destroyer. Number 1. Maybe I just gave you 6 entries, by the way. Go ahead.
I don't know. There was something about Boba's ship. The fact that like it would go like this to that.
Yeah, that's what makes it cool.
I don't know. I didn't
You just said that's what you liked about Ahsoka's ship.
No, was the thing would fucking turn.
This is a different type of rotation. When it rotates up, then the body rotates.
I thought that was weird.
Weird? Yeah. I thought that was one of the coolest effects we've seen in the Star Wars, in The Mandalorian. When they fucking showed the mechanics and physics of how the fucking ship rotates.
That was cool. That was cool.
Weird. Cool.
No,
Which one is it?
I don't know.
You're fucking more bipolar than goddamn Anakin Skywalker in this 5th part of Ahsoka. Let's get to that.
Okay.
Right now.
Sounds good.
So, episode 5. Part 5, Shadow Warrior.
We didn't get any Thrawn.
No Thrawn yet, and Jared.
But I feel like we're right there.
I know.
We're like right there.
At this point, it is my only complaint. This is going to be a very positive review. I'm saying that straight ahead. But at this point, it is a complaint. Sorry. But even if this was Jaws or Jurassic Park, which Spielberg intentionally did not show until midway through the movie because he wanted to keep the specialness of them cool, even if it is that, this is actually way beyond now, halfway. We only have 3 episodes left. We're on episode 6, and we still haven't seen Thrawn. So I gotta see Thrawn. I'm suffering from what I am calling Thrawn anxiety.
When's he gonna show up? When's he coming?
I was loving all of the Worlds Between Worlds stuff, but after the Worlds Between Worlds stuff, I did hit the time on my TV a few times to check how much time was remaining in hopes that, okay, does this mean Thrawn? Thrawn? I'm getting Thrawn, right? And when it didn't happen, I go, oh, fuck, man. And it's almost like it's counterproductive that they're holding Thrawn back this late. Because they've told us that Thrawn's going to be in the show.
We've seen
They are the ones who let us know that Thrawn is the main villain. You have not shown us the main villain in 70% of your story thus far. Come on now. Now, that's the only criticism, and it is a fair and big criticism, but it certainly is not going to destroy this fantastic Part 5.
No, I think every episode's getting better and better. I feel like
what did you think about Part 5? General thoughts before we get into specifics.
Oh, I thought it was the best episode so far.
Yeah, I did as well.
Like I said, I think each episode, the series is getting better and better. Because I feel like he found his groove when writing it.
And it's less exposition. Just get right into it. George only, gave us a little bit of explaining who everyone was and where everyone was going. Just barely. I mean, even look at like episode 4. It's like Obi-Wan brings up, oh yeah, your father and I fought in the Clone Wars. That's pretty much it. He's like, you knew him, but he didn't say like, where are the Clone Wars? You know, like what's the Clone Wars? What was it? You know, and it's just a little bit. But I loved it. Now Hayden Christensen, I'm seriously confused about what's happening. Last week, I told you that there were a lot of people who thought Hayden Christensen's face looked faked, and that they were saying that that it was bad CGI. I'm genuinely confused as to what's going on. We know Hayden Christensen was cast.
Yes.
We know he's an actor who's on the show.
Yes.
Are they making him younger with CG? I can't even fucking tell now. Like, I don't know what to think. It doesn't matter that much to me because his appearances have been brilliant. But it is a weird thing because now it's like I've been paying attention to that rather than really focusing on Hayden Christensen and Anakin Skywalker's words. I'm like, is that CG? Is that this? Is that that? But we know the actor was cast, so I'm confused. I think what they've done is they've cast Hayden Christensen. They probably put some of the green dots that they did on Ewan McGregor
to de-age
him. He doesn't need it. They shouldn't do anything with his face. Just give him a really fresh shave and makeup.
Fresh coat of paint.
I mean, it really is simple as fresh shave and makeup. He looks perfectly fine. But what do you think is happening? Is this...
I don't know.
Is it 100% him?
It is 100% him, but I think they might be trying to go for some kind of effect that we're not sure if this is a vision of him.
Okay.
Like she's like the world within the worlds is actually like projecting her vision of him, or it's a force ghost in the world within the worlds.
Interesting.
So
the reason why he looks different is because this is not an Anakin Skywalker we've ever really seen before.
This is an Anakin.
It's not Force Ghost Anakin. It's not. You know what's great about this Anakin is this is Clone Wars Anakin, and that was cool. This was not Revenge of the Sith Anakin. This was this was a Clone War Anakin. I loved it.
Well,
in live action is what I'm saying. This was what we watched on the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Which was cool.
Big fight scenes.
Adventurous. But also a little cocky. Yeah, you got that. You got some of that in the prequels. You know, him and Obi-Wan flying that ship. And he's like, excuse me, master. And he jumps out. I hated when he does that. But by and large, it's like, this is like the cool, cocky, fun, you know, Anakin that everybody loved. And I thought that was awesome. Just awesome.
I like the whole setup that they went back to the Clone Wars and they showed a young Ahsoka.
Yeah, well, what did you think about the lightsaber fight before that?
I thought it was pretty cool.
First, they had a little lightsaber duel. They had a little thing. And I thought it was a great moment when he cut the bridge of the world between worlds, one of those catwalks.
And she falls
That's when she fell right into the Clone Wars. And that was absolutely awesome. It was a little trippy. Didn't know exactly what was going on. Didn't care. It's one of those situations where it's just like, it's a force vision kind of thing. Just go with it.
Yeah, and
you can't possibly interpret it until you've seen everything about it. And then afterwards, even, you have to reflect on what you actually saw.
Yeah, because again, I'm not 100% sure. Originally, when we first saw him at the cliffhanger of last episode, episode 4, I was like, "Oh, this is a Force ghost." But as episode 5 went on, I'm like, I don't know if he's a Force ghost because, you know, they did the whole like. The coolest part I thought was during the smoke scene where like he walks off, Anakin walks off. He's like, "Come on, you're gonna miss all the fun," and then we see like the little like smoke, and then we see the blue lightsaber becomes red.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The flash of like Vader, like the outline of Vader. I thought that was like.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing when they flashed between Anakin and Vader. And she's watching him run off into battle with the clone troopers behind him. Spectacular. And even Anakin just walking intensely with clone troopers behind him before, like, without even the mask, had such a Darth Vader walking with stormtroopers, kind of a la Empire Strikes Back. It just had that vibe. Awesome.
And
oh!
It was.
And then you could also think Anakin walking with the clone troopers as Darth Vader post Order 66 in Revenge of the Sith when he went into the Jedi Temple. Oh!
And you see the second half of their fight scene.
This is for you, Anakin. I'm pouring one out for my homie, Anakin Skywalker. That was amazing. I could chop your head off right here.
Okay.
No one would fucking know about it except for the Yaddle heads. Just want you to remember that.
I will remember. I will commit that to memory.
All right, go ahead.
The second, you see, this is what made me question it was a Force ghost. Was it? He like turned. You could see the subtle transition of Vader with the lightsaber, and then his eyes turned yellow, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is just the Force sending something to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's still interesting as to, was that actually Anakin? Was that actually like Anakin's spirit? No, but I mean, or was the Force projecting like an Anakin as like a test for Ahsoka? Or was that Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka just got killed. I better go visit her in the world over worlds over there.
And get her ass in gear.
Yeah, get her ass in gear. I don't know. But I think you probably, I don't know. I feel like it was Anakin probably.
And I think that's what's the ambiguous part about it. I think is what makes it cool. And I think that's what kind of adds the effect. If everyone is complaining about how he looks, now there's like some subtext, potential subtext. Is it really him? Is he a Force ghost? Is it a figment of her imagination that's being projected in this world between the worlds type of thing?
Fair enough. How about Hera? She decides to go on the mission. People told her not to, but she's there. Well, we saw that in part 4. Part 5, she's still there, and she's looking for Ahsoka and the little brat. Jason Syndulla says, I hear lightsabers over the water.
Well, obviously, he's Force sensitive.
Right.
I was waiting.
Because they were battling up in the sky. He hears them in the waves.
No, I think because he could hear through the water.
Everything's
like water is considered is the medium.
Oh. Well, the kid, as an actor, he's just fine. This isn't my criticism.
I know you don't like the kid little.
I don't like the design. I think the design of Jason Syndulla stinks. They should have went with either one or two designs. Like I said, humanoid with black hair and green skin. Or, fuck it, make him a full-on Twi'lek, give him the goddamn tails, green, not flesh-colored, just full-on. He has no fucking resemblance to Hera, and they're not showing Kanan in this show. So they're not showing Kanan, and he has no resemblance to Hera. They barely dyed his hair green. The kid's got dark hair, and they sprinkled a little green dust.
I think
it's like they fucking ground up some green Crayola crayons and just threw it on his head. He barely has that.
Do you think
the design of this kid stinks? He stunk in animation, and now he stinks in live action. The child actor's just fine. I'm talking about the design.
No, I get that. I feel like if they went with jet black hair and green skin, maybe Warner Brothers might sue them for Beast Boy.
Get into the mic.
He would look exactly like Beast Boy from,
Beast Boy from what?
From Teen Titans.
Okay, bro, you can't know. No one can sue with... Okay, then fucking Frankenstein could sue Beast Boy. You don't have a fucking patent on goddamn skin and fucking hair color.
Fucking George Lucas trademarked the word lightsaber.
But that's different. That popped up in a thing. But you can't say, hey, he looks like Beast Boy because he's green. Come on, man.
I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I'll say this. Beast Boy's a better fucking design than this little fucking turd. Anyway, Jason tells his mom, who does not have the Force, I hear some shit, and then all of a sudden Hera starts hearing the lightsabers. Here's another little quibble of mine. Just like Jared, I guess I'm going to be Darth Quibless today. Too willy-nilly with the Force right now. In the Filoni, Favreau, Star Wars universe. Yes, not every fucking character should be having the Force, should be able to see the Force, look into the Force, tap into the Force. Hera's not a Jedi. If the little fucking Jedi kid can hear the goddamn lightsabers in the water, that's one thing. Hera, not a Jedi. She shouldn't be able to close her eyes and be like, huh? Oh, yeah, I hear it now. No, you don't. You don't have the Force. Sorry. We're too much. Everyone's got the fucking Force right now.
I mean,
keep the Force special.
I think the Force is special. The whole point
Everyone's got it now.
Yes, because it's supposed to bind everyone together.
Too much. Not everyone needs to have the Force. The Force is, though, it's the all-stars. It's the Hall of Famers of this galaxy.
The Jedi
not
everyone's
going to have Michael Jordan's skills in the NBA, nor should they. It wouldn't make the NBA interesting.
Yeah, but okay. You could look at being Force sensitive as being an athlete, but you have like the Jedi and the Sith. Those are like basketball players, right?
Yes.
Then you have a Night Sister who's clearly Force sensitive. They could be an athlete too and playing hockey.
Yes. What's your fucking point?
There are plenty of professional sports out there. That's my fucking point.
Stop turning at my head. Will you look at me on screen?
That's my point.
I literally told you that, and actually it made you look at me more.
I want to see your reaction.
I know, which you can see on the fucking giant screen in front of us.
It's better if I turn.
Please. Do you know that I don't want to get any fucking more emails and messages from the Yaddle heads who say, hey, this week Jared was turning his head a lot.
I don't know why they don't email me at yaddlechattle@gmail.com.
They like to dime you out to me. And I am dealing with so much stuff in my life.
It's the last thing you need.
The last thing I need is
me
Jared,
looking at you.
Jared is not speaking in the microphone. Please. Now, having said that, so you like Hera and Jason having this little thing here? Do you like that scene?
It's not going to make or break the series for me. So, I'm fine with it. I just want to see fucking Thrawn. I want to see him being menacing.
Me too. I want to see Thrawn.
I want to see.
What else happened though? Let's go into to get the fucking thing.
So Ahsoka chooses to live.
Yeah, right.
Now we see what's interesting.
Well, hold on. Let's go into the Anakin Ahsoka. Anakin goes from more than just fucking Anakin. He becomes Vader.
Yes.
Okay, he becomes pre-mask wearing Vader, Revenge of the Sith Vader before he went into the volcano. That lightsaber duel was phenomenal.
Yes.
Bad guy, or Darth Vader, not bad guy Anakin. Darth Vader, Ahsoka was tremendous. I think they might be at times, and this is not a criticism, this is not a complaint. At times, to get a little more speed, I feel like I saw them maybe just simply speed up the film a little. Fast forward, put that at 1.5 speed. Not for every move, by the way. For certain impact moves, I think that they suddenly hit a little faster. No issues with that. I
didn't notice that.
I'm pretty sure that happened. And again, no issues. I prefer that over a lazy, boring, slow lightsaber duel any day of the week. I thought this was tremendous. Ahsoka beats Anakin, beats Vader really, takes his lightsaber, and she says, basically puts it up to his throat, blah, 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 and Anakin says, guess what? You passed the test. Question. What test? What the fuck is Anakin talking about? I like it. I'm in. I need help. I do see it as a test. It seemed like it was a test and a trial for Ahsoka. Well, what does he mean by that?
So Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. She left she's kind of going through things willy-nilly. She left the Order. She didn't finish that. She didn't finish Sabine's training. She kind of left that. She left Ezra out there for God knows how many years. She's kind of been like on the fence of, should I find him? Shouldn't I find him? Like, this is basically him saying, don't fucking half-ass anything, full-ass it.
Right.
Like, do you want to live or do you want to die?
Right.
Because right now she's kind of in, the world within the world is kind of like a limbo for her.
Right.
Because I guess Baylan's technically killed her.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So he's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to like live? And if you're gonna live, you have to go balls to the walls now, because the life you're living right now, you were gonna die anyway.
Okay, fair enough. Here's the problem with what you're saying. It was stupid.
Are you waiting for a reaction?
I just wanted to see what you would say. No, I'm into that. I missed Skoll this episode. Like I missed seeing him. I thought that character had so much momentum after part 4. But then again, the Anakin stuff was simply magical. How can you complain about the episode in any way, shape, or form? Ahsoka has seemed different to some folks in the series. Way more serious. Reserved almost. Sullen. Somber. Not joking around ever. There's not that light touch that she used to have in the Clone Wars. Obviously, she was a lot younger, but, she's changed a lot.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I was helping my neighbor out who's a Star Wars fan, and he knows about the podcast and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was helping him move some dresser or piece of furniture and stuff like that. And
Does he listen?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes he listens.
Sometimes he listens.
Jesus Christ. Why can't we get him to listen every time?
You can lead a horse to water, but, the horse's got to drink it himself.
Oh, he's your neighbor. Just fucking ring his doorbell and say, hey, make sure you subscribe to the last episode.
Shane, listen to my goddamn podcast,
well,
would
you can tell. When you see him outside cutting his grass, you go, Shane, we got a new Yaddle up. All right? Help us out. I just told you. We want everyone to spread the word to every fucking human being on the planet. Every Facebook group, every Reddit page, every goddamn message board.
He knows
everything.
that.
Okay.
Shane knows that, and sometimes he'll bring
But I'm saying we want Yaddle heads now. This is a challenge to all Yaddle heads. We need everyone to start spreading the show like wildfire everywhere. We've put in over a year, so you know that we're legit. I get when people are like, hey, it's a good show, because, a lot of podcasts, they just fucking fold after 5 episodes. Because the people realize, oh, this is hard. We have to come up with stuff to talk about every week. Whereas, I'm crazy. I never have that issue. We're going to be doing Yaddle Chattle for 30 years. Okay, back to your point.
He said that a friend of his mentioned how he's been watching Ahsoka, and he's not sure what to make of Ahsoka because she's come off, he used the word regal to describe her.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, regal, somber, serious. Yeah, regal's a good word. I have a theory now.
And then I basically turned to him and I said, she's a grown-up now.
Yeah. But I'm a grown-up. Other people are grown up. I've been around the block enough to know that, just because you're a grown-up, your core essential emotions and characteristics as a person don't change.
No, I get that, but here's the other point I'll bring it back. This kind of just occurred to me that this is part of the theme of the episode, is that she came of age through an entire war. Remember, she's like what, 12, 13 years old?
No. I thought 17.
When she's a Padawan?
Yeah.
When he first, I thought she was...
I think so, Jared. I think so. I think by Clone Wars Season 5, she's supposed to be 21. 20.
No, because, the instances, she's supposed to be a child, because there are a lot of instances where it's like she has that, the tension with that guy that she's kind of interested in. And it's kind of like she's on the border of boys, ew, I kind of like that guy.
I don't think so. But regardless of how fucking old, what's your point?
Well, no, my point is that she grew up
Yeah,
having
she
to
did
fight
even
a
if she
war.
was 15 or 16 or 17.
but
she still grew up in the Clone Wars.
She grew up in the Clone Wars, and it's kind of the thing that she's going on about. She's like, well, this war, what's the point, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Anakin's like, no, you need to be more than just, you need to be more than just a warrior.
Right.
You need to be a
warrior.
You need to be a human being.
Or
whatever the fuck she is. You need to be more. You can be more than this. And Anakin's trying to convey that. He's like, I'm a soldier, but I'm also a teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
So
do you want to hear my Ahsoka theory?
Go ahead.
Of why she's reserved?
Lay it on me.
We know she's died now twice, and we know she has been to the world between worlds twice, and she's come back twice. I am supposing that where we saw her get killed, or at least, get killed in Rebels Season 2, and her getting killed in Part 4 of Ahsoka, I think those are not the only two times she's been killed and visit World Between Worlds. I think the reason why now we're going to find out that Ahsoka was not in the original trilogy is she's had this experience multiple times. Maybe she goes on a mission. Maybe she even goes on a mission for the Rebels. Gets killed, World Between Worlds. You could spend a week in the World Between Worlds. You don't even know what the fuck, how much time is going by. A fucking year in the galaxy could go by. That's A. B. If this has happened, if she's going between World Between Worlds and the regular flesh and blood planets of the galaxy, okay, and maybe in other times she's been in World Between Worlds, she's had these kind of trials, not necessarily from Anakin, but just she's had Force visions and she's, all of a sudden been thrown into her past, into a different scene of her past, right? This keeps happening multiple times like this.
Like Groundhog Day.
Your reality would change. I go to episode 1 of Ahsoka. When we first, right at the beginning of the show, right at the beginning, right at the very beginning, when we first saw Ahsoka, she's trying to find that map thing or whatever, and there's those 4 or 5 robot droids, and Ahsoka tilted her head. People noticed that Ahsoka in animation tilted her head, which was cool because they're staying consistent. But there was a different type of look in her eyes. Rosario Dawson had an almost quizzical, almost like, who are these people? What is truly going on here type of look. Not that she was simply saying, who are these guys who want to kill me? I think she goes somewhere and it fucking takes her a little bit to understand what is my reality. Is this real? Is this actually happening?
Or,
in other words, Ahsoka these days, if you were going to say she was more, she's a Twi'lek with the head, tails, and shit, but she was very human, right? In Clone Wars, a little bit less so, but, in Rebels. And now it's like she's more alien. And I don't think that's by accident. It took to this 5th episode, but I think when we see Ahsoka being so reserved and almost emotionless, and then even with the head tilt and almost confused for a second of what's happening until she figures it out quickly in her head, says, okay, this is what needs to occur. I think, man, you get killed a few times. You're in the World Between Worlds a few times. Sometimes in the World Between Worlds, you're flashing between realities. You don't know where you are. You've just landed in the Clone Wars, or you've just landed somewhere else, or you've just landed in another trauma period. Then all of a sudden, someone pulls you out. You're in fucking regular life. That is going to fuck your head up. I'm not saying Ahsoka's gone nuts. I am saying
she's been desensitized.
She's gone a little bit nuts. So,
all right,
desensitized, but she's still a light side Force user. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of her going fucking batshit like Anakin turning into Vader. But I do think she's confused, and that is causing Ahsoka to be more somber how she talks.
Can I give you two? I'll
Please.
give you one schizo take.
Because that's my theory.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said. What if she's stuck now in a Groundhog Day-esque type of scenario?
That is what I mean.
No, but with this entire Ahsoka this series,
I don't
this
think
period of her life where she starts.
So I don't think you need. Trust me. I thought about the Groundhog's Day thing. I don't think you need to do a full-on Groundhog's Day where she's stuck in the cycle. But I think what we take from Groundhog Day is that she keeps getting killed, she keeps going to World of Worlds, and then eventually she comes out. And if that happens repeatedly, you are not going to know what is happening all the time. It's going to take you 5 to 10 seconds when you go someplace maybe to even be like, is this real? And so when she was looking at those droids in part 1, it was like, is this real? Am I still in the world between worlds? We might have just been seeing her come back from the world between worlds in part 1. And look at her face again. She's like, so I think in her head is like, is this a force vision? Is this world between worlds? Is this a test or is this reality? Well, and I think that makes Ahsoka now really interesting if that's the case. If I just made up really cool shit and it's just like, nah, Ahsoka's just older and that's why she's talking like that, then that's lame.
The other thing I noticed is her new outfit now. It's like very white, very much...
yes, Gandalf. That's what a lot of people have brought up. Gandalf the White.
Very light-colored, very true to a Jedi. Because when she starts off as a kid, it's red.
Yeah.
Right? Then as she transitions into a teenager, it's been like this blue and white.
Yeah, and she's died. She's died, and she's come back. So now she has evolved. This is a new Ahsoka. She is upgraded. This is a higher version, and obviously there's a Gandalf the White type of some similarity there.
So,
but all in all, what did you think of the episode?
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was the best episode of the series, and I'm really,
without a doubt, awesome episode. It's the first time in this season that I watched it. It ended, and I immediately rewatched it. Immediately. Did not take even a bathroom break or a fucking M&M break. A little piece of Reese's Pieces Buttercups. I'm into Twix. Sour Patch Kids are good. Snickers. I mean, I could go on and on, but this ain't Candy Chattle.
I understand that, but you should put all of that on your Amazon wish list.
Twizzlers. Anyway... I thought it was a fantastic episode. The world between worlds looked awesome.
The fight scenes were awesome.
And the flashbacks were amazing. Amazing. I could have sat there with fucking Anakin and Ahsoka all day long. They were too amazing. It was like the Clone Wars came to real life. And I couldn't get enough. And also I thought it just looked cinematic. It just looked cool. You know, like we've had complaints about the fact that we've said, you know, it's not fair that like Guardians of the Galaxy and other science fiction properties are sort of outdoing Star Wars in terms of planet design and that kind of thing. And the reason why I say it's not fair is because if you go back and look at the Clone Wars, they were doing all this original amazing shit. I wouldn't even be surprised if some of the Guardians of the Galaxy designers took it from Clone Wars. So this is what I'm saying. Clone Wars had brilliant planet design. Put some of that shit in live action. And I think Filoni's done it. And I gotta tell you, how about this for an idea? And then we'll get out of here. Actually, you gotta give us a cage match. You haven't in a while. But let me tell you something. Would you be opposed to just doing a full-on fucking Clone Wars thing? Get the young Ahsoka actress. Get Hayden Christensen. How about then a miniseries? 6 episodes.
I don't think they're going to do it.
A one-off. How about a 3-hour movie? I'm not kidding. It looked fantastic. I mean, it was great. And it's the only thing. And this also seems to be a slight unifier. I'm seeing most Star Wars fans go bonkers over this. There's a couple people who didn't like it, but they're in the real hardcore minority.
Do you know what we're probably going to see in the next episode?
What?
We're in the next 2 to 3 episodes, we're going to see where the two of them were Well, we know where Ahsoka was in Order 66 because that's the finale.
Oh, I don't know about that, Jared. I think we're done with the. I think that might be the entire Hayden Christensen flashback.
But I think we're gonna get to see where Baylan was for Order 66.
I don't know about that. I feel like we're really ship is steam ahead, baby, full ahead.
Oh.
Because I mean, listen, this is important. We should discuss this really quickly. The next episode
takes place in another galaxy.
We're finally going into another Star Wars galaxy.
In live action. We have to specify.
I don't want them to pull any shit. I want to see a new galaxy. And I wouldn't even mind if we stayed in that new galaxy for a little bit and just see how shit works.
Well, it's 3 episodes.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to stay in that galaxy for all 3? That would be cool if they did. I'm not about... Stay in that galaxy for a little bit. Slow it down. Let's see what's going on. A brand new Star Wars galaxy? Let's take a little fucking trip, a little sightseeing trip. Like Chevy Chase in fucking America, Lampoon Vacation. Let's get in the car. Let's drive around. Let's see all these planets. I can't wait for it. Quick, fast, Star Wars cage fight.
Baylan versus Luke Skywalker.
Baylan Skoll, Luke Skywalker. Now, Baylan just beat Ahsoka, so he is quite formidable. Gotta go Luke.
I'm talking Return of the Jedi Luke.
Return of the Jedi Luke?
Yes.
That's easy. Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi easily defeats Skull. The only way this matchup would be close if it was Last Jedi Luke versus Skull. Return of the Jedi Luke? No sirree, Bob. Luke Skywalker takes out Skull. Sorry. I'm the bad guy. Usually I'm supposed to go with the bad guys. But I mean, come on. You gave me a layup here. Go ahead. Who do you choose?
I don't know. I think Vader let his son win. So I'm going to go with Baylan.
As if they're playing basketball in the driveway. Vader let his son win. I can promise you he didn't. Luke was turning to the dark side and thus defeating his father.
Can I ask you a question? Do you let Stanley win?
Never. That's why he gets very angry at me. And we end up only playing Mario Kart like 4 or 5 races. And usually I win. And then it's just like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm out. I'm like, not playing's not the answer, son. Improving is.
Okay. Well, we got that answered.
He is Jedi Jared. My name is Darth David. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Yaddle Chattle, a Star Wars podcast. We love you. Ahsoka, episode 6 next week. We're excited. Good night, everybody!